Hello friends, welcome back to another session. Today we'll see how to Dockerize the application, that is running the application in the container. For this, I will use the application which is recently migrated to .NET Core 3.1. So if anyone of is not seen those videos, I would recommend to see them as you will get some context of the application what we are using. So I'll add the links in the description, so please watch them and then come back to here and see how to Dockerize the application. Okay. Let's start. First we have to download install the Docker. For this you have to go just Google it, Docker download. And since I'm using Mac, so I'll go here and you can download here. And if you are using any Windows, you can go here, download, and then the pretty much steps are straightforward and you will not be confused because everything is a simple setup. Just run it and make sure that is running like this. So you should be seeing once that is run, ideally it will open automatically. If not, you can open from your, if it is Windows you have to go open from program files. If it is Mac, you can go to the launchpad and search for that and open this. Okay, and once that is open, make sure your status should be like this, Docker desktop running. So the UI is, it will be same in Mac or OS. Okay, if you are seeing this green button and is running, that is all is good. Okay, now let's open the previous application which we have migrated to 3.1 and then start adding the code to make sure we run our code in the container. I'll open the Visual Studio Code and I will open the application which is .NET Core Basic Web API. This is what we migrated to. This is what we migrated earlier. Let me close all this. This application we have migrated to 3.1. You can go here and see 3.1. So let me see what is the branch we are into. So I am into this. So what I'll do is I create another branch, say Docker, probably doc branch. It is not branch, it is checkout. Okay, now I am into doc branch. Okay, now I'll write the code here so that when you check out the code, you will see accordingly. If some people wants to check on .NET 3.1, they can check out the code of 3.1. If it is Docker doc branch, that is for Docker, they can go there. That's the reason I created the branch. So for this, the first step we have to do is we have to create a Docker file in our source folder. Okay, I mean before that, so I assume that whoever is watching that, they know the basics of Dockers, how it works and all. So I'm not going to explain over here what is Docker and all. Probably if many people request, I'll in the future I'll make a video of complete what is Docker, why we need and all, and the whole picture of Docker I'll try to explain the future based on the people ask. Okay, for now I'll assume that the whoever is watching us, they are aware of the Docker. Okay, for this you have to create the file. So this file, it is pretty much it should be a Docker file. Okay, from this the next step is the syntax for this, it should be from, and you need a base, basically you need a base image. So from where do we get and what do we need? So we need a SDK, we need a SDK image. So for this what you have to go do is you go to hub.docker.com, and from here type .NET Core. Okay, for building we need a .NET Core image, so we'll use this. It is 3.1. Yeah, Okay, we need this. So basically we had to get it from here. Just copy this, go back to your code, from give this, and give your name of this alias as, you can give anything you want, build env I would say. And then once you are added the from which image you want to build the application, and then you have to mention your work directory, and then give slash app. Basically you are setting up the work directory for this building process. Once that is done, the next step you have to do is you have to make a copy. What you have to copy? You have to copy only cs project file. Why we do this is so that if there is any change, only this layer will actually execute, otherwise it will take from cache. And I think, as I said, I think pretty much these things should be aware of the basic commands of the of from the docker. Okay, and then once you copy that, the next step you have to do is you have to restore, because for restore generally the .cs project file is required. After it is restored, the next step is you have to copy all whatever it is in the source code from the root directory to the working directory. Okay, once is that is done, you have to do, I think this command is pretty much same whatever we do in our command, how we publish or release kind of thing, it's the same thing. That is what we do in the docker file. It's just that instead of writing all commands manually, we are doing with the single file through the container based. Okay, that means what this step is just basically it copies the .cs file and then it restores, and then we'll restore the other things after the restore. Then what do we do is we publish it. Where do we publish? We publish into the output out of that directory. So now we have the published code. The next step what we have to do is we have to generate an image for only the published code, whereas here we did for the complete with the source code, but we don't need a source code for the production move or in the environment view. Okay, for that we need an image, and still we don't need the core image. We need only ASP net runtime only. Okay, this is what we needed, ASP.NET Core runtime. So what we do is you copy the image. Okay, and for this you don't need any alias. So again you have to set the what is the work directory, and I'll give the app only for this also. And then next step what we have to do is here we don't need any restore, because here we need only copy from source to destination. Now what is the source? Source is my build. Source is my build. Okay, and where it has, from where it has to copy, you have to copy. Okay, from app. What is this? From this app and this out out folder to my destination, because this is my working directory. The moment when I use dot, that means it's referring to this working directory. That is the reason we are saying dot. Okay, once that is done, the next step is assume it successfully copied the publish folder into the our app folder, that is inside the new image. So the next step is entry point. What is the entry point? We have to call .NET, and basically I think if you remember, how do we call .NET run to execute, right? This is from the code if you run it. Whereas if you are using the compile code, you have to call, basically assume you will be going to 3.1. Assume that if you are running from this code, from this folder, you have to run .NET and the DLL you have to give. In this case, this is the DLL. Okay, that's what you have to pass as a second parameter. Pass dot DLL. That's it. This is the Docker file which is need to run the code in the container, that is using the Docker. So the next step is you have to execute the commands so that the code will run successfully. Okay, before that, it's just that you may want to ignore when it is copying the files from obj and bin folders into the docker, because that is not required. So if you want to eliminate that, what you have to do is you have to create a file called kind of a git ignore. Similarly, you have to create here one more file called docker ignore. This is pretty much same what we generally write for our git ignore. Okay, you have to mention which file you want to ignore when it is copying. For us, this bin and obj files are the ones which is not required. That's the reason we have added here. Okay, now this everything is done, and we have the docker file, and we have ignored the folders which is not required. The next step is we have to build an image. So for that, the command is docker build and -t, and you have to give the name of that. I'll just say ASP.NET app. Okay, and you have to provide where the docker file is. That is dot. That means take from the root directory where it is running this command. So the moment you say, and once you write this syntax, hit enter. Okay, if you see, it is doing 1 by 10, which means each command will consider as a one command. That means we should have 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So that's the reason I have purposefully separated this, so that next time it will not execute. It will only take from the cache. It will execute only if this file is modified. That's the reason I made it as a separate. Okay. Now we have the ASP.NET. ASP.NET latest, because this is the first time we are doing. To check the images, we have to use the command docker images. See, this is what created. If you see, around 15 seconds, we have created the image. The next step is we have to run this image, and then we can execute. I mean, basically, we can see the application which is running or not. So for that, what you have to run the command is docker run. It's a daemon, means I mean, once it is execute, it will come back to your terminal. Otherwise, it will hold that, and you have to give the port. I just give 8080 and 80, and then you can give the name of your app. I'll just say my app. Okay, and then you have to give your what is the app. This is the app name, repository name basically. So once that is done, you execute this, and this is running. For that, you have to see docker ps. When you do, basically whenever you are running docker ps, you have to list out all the containers whichever it is running. To check that, go back to browser, type localhost 80, and if you remember, ours is an API, so it is not required. If you remember, ours is API, so we have to go this. Yeah, I mean, this is a reverse way. What I said is 88 is the one we have to check in our local, and 80 is running inside that. So if you see that, see it now, it is running from docker. If you see, I don't have anything in my code. In terminal, I don't have anything. It's not running. If you have seen my previous videos, to run the application, I would have executed the code .NET run, and then it will show it is running in XYZ port. But whereas now it is running from container. Okay, this one thing. The other one is, so far what we did is we are run few commands. Even though we have file, so what we are doing is where we have executed two commands. Basically, one is docker run, and give the port expose and all, and the name and all. The other one is docker build. It means we are had to execute two steps. So instead of that, we have other way of doing that, which is the concept called docker compose. So basically, the word itself which is we are composing. So what are composing? We are telling few instruction to the through this file. We are telling few instruction to execute at and go. so that we have to call only one. If you call that, then everything whatever you are doing manually, it can be achievable with only one command. So for that, what we have to do is we have to create another file called docker compose.yaml file. Okay, once you created, you have to give the version. As per today 3.4 is the latest, so I will use that. And basically this is the syntax of the docker compose. Just have to follow to make sure your docker is up and running in your application, right? Okay, I'll just add the further thing, syntax. We have to give the services, and you can name your service, it will be API. And then you have to give the thing called build. Inside the build you have to give context. Mind, if it is a older version, it will be using build directly. And the other one is docker file. You have to give the docker file name. So what is the docker file of ours? It is docker file. And once that is done, so basically this step is called whatever we are doing, the first one, build. If you remember the command, this is what, doing this step. Okay, the next step is doing, right, we are telling, giving the ports. Okay, what is the port? We are giving 80, 80 and 80. Okay, 80. This is what the commands we had to give, or configure we had to give in the docker file. Okay, the next step I'll show how to execute that. Before this, I will clear this docker one so that we can execute that. So it is stop, and I will remove the image also so that we can check again whether it is creating or not. Yeah, I'm not seeing any this. These are the base, these are the ones which are downloaded as part of the docker, because we are given the images, right? That's the reason we are seeing these images. This still we can remove it or make it as, it's just that to save time I have not removed it, I kept as it is. But ideally if you run the first thing, this will take some time to download, because you can see the file sizes of this. So that's the reason, just to not wait the video, prior to that only I executed once. That's the reason base images were already downloaded and available. That's the reason the image generation was very quick. Otherwise it takes some time based on your bandwidth. Okay, now if you see, I any none of the containers are running, and I don't have any images apart from the base images. Okay, chalo, let's create, let's call the syntax. So docker compose and up. There is some syntax error, let me see what is that, which is an invalid type and it should be string. What is that? Let me see that, what is that error? Context, I think I have not given here context. We have to tell, you have to take from this, I believe that is what. Let's try this. Yes, see, it started pretty much same. You can see the same step. It is doing what we did manually. When you run the build process, when you run the build process, show the steps 10 1 to 10, and it is doing the similar steps. Okay, once that is done, it's you would have seen the same successful statement when it is executed the first step. After that, it is created an image and it is running it. Now it is attached to this. Now it is running successfully. If you go here into the same URL and execute, you see it's successfully running. Now this time, without writing more commands, we are utilizing the help of Docker Compose to do our process steps. This is the basic one. I mean, using the Docker Compose, we can do a lot of things like we can configure our volume, we can write any script whichever is doing. For example, whenever assume we already have production database running, and when we are deploying the latest image, if you want to run any batch script like a migration, you can add that file over here and you can give the path of that script, and we can tell the Docker Compose execute this before even generating the image and all these are things. Many things you can do that, but I mean, this video is not about the advanced thing. My point is to show the basic ones to understand the learners better in a practical manner. So that's what is I trying to say. Hope you guys have cleared, and please let me know if you have any course doubts. Comment on below and try to reply as much as possible. And if you see, I mean, I created my YouTube channel very long back, but I was not actively involving due to my office work and personal work. But I am going forward, I have decided to release at least weekly 2 to 3 videos. I'll try my level best to do that. If I had time, I'll do more. Otherwise, at least minimum two I will try to release the videos. And if you are looking for any other concepts or any other videos, please comment it. I will try to do and post the same. Thank you.